What's going on? It's Rico with No Boring Concrete. Hey man, this is such a cool house. I really like it. We're here in Orlando, Florida, and it's just got a cool vibe to it. Like it's just got like a California, somewhat modern, even though it was built, 20 years ago or so. And the guy who's picking it up, he's completely gutted out, remodeling it, and he reached out and he wanted something really neat on his fireplace. So you'll see inside what we're going to be doing, but it's a very natural stone, stack stone effect, but there's a nice modern touch to it where the mantle is just going to stay white, the hearth is going to stay white, but he had heard about No Boring Concrete and some of the stuff that we can do, so came out and let's go check it out. So now that we're inside and you've seen the natural stone go from top to bottom on this fireplace chimney, it's really cool to see the white contrast that you're seeing here. And let me explain the mantle itself. The client, he didn't want anything to be too rustic and too three-dimensional, and he just kind of wanted things to be very subtle, sleek, very smooth to the touch. And so he just wanted very little variation, but that you would have to almost like look for, but just appreciate the piece as a whole, not to something to be so overbearing. And the way this house is going to be laid out anyways, when it's completely done and designed, they're going to have some modern floors. It's going to be just like a plain white couch to contrast the white fireplace accents, and it's just going to be a real cool spot. So with that being said, I have some other photos and some other projects and other videos that I've done, this rustic beam effect, and it looks really cool, three-dimensional. The knots are like sticking out. It's a lot of detail, carving actually, but this was more of a finesse thing and just kind of etching, if you want to call it. So the beam itself was hand troweled with a base coat and then lightly troweled with another coating on top of it. As it was wet, I was manipulating it and burnishing it some and just poking at it to create different characters. As you can see, some of the knots were put in place as well, just giving it almost like that very light rustic whitewashed effect. And I didn't have to add any color to this mix. It was just pure white, so that was a good thing there. We don't have to mess around with stains or two-tone or variations or any antiquing or anything like that. And then for the hearth, he just wanted very simple, very plain, no texture, very minimal if any, slick trowel, and then at the end we're going to end up putting a water-based sealer, so it's not color enhancing, it doesn't pop anything, it's just going to protect it from it being stained. He also knows he's going to be covering it up through the rest of the project, because typically this is pretty early on that when I normally get called in to do my work, and then now you have a lot of trades that are going to be going on from moving on forward. So he's been advised to keep it covered, red tape it off, and do all that kind of stuff, and hopes to keep it protected to the final finish. So we'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, a lot of those hearths end up being a catch-all for all trades, where they put their hammer, their tools, their coffee, water, they sit down on it and that kind of stuff. Very easy to relax on, but very frustrating for the owner when he comes in and catches people at that. But hey, that's not on me. So I'm glad I was able to be a part of this project. He was able to see some of the cool stuff we can do. We discussed a few other options that we have, so we might be back at this house to do some other neat things, and if not, I think he has a few other properties that he might be interested in being involved with, so that I could take part of presenting my work and bringing what I got to the table. So thanks for checking us out. NoBoringConcrete.com. Subscribe, follow, like. share all that stuff. Facebook, YouTube channel. We're on Instagram as well. All the handles, No Boring Concrete. And if you have any questions, any comments, feel free to comment back or ask and request, and I'll try to do my best to respond in a timely manner. And other than that, thanks for tuning in. See you.